Welcome to Next Trekking Adventure. We hope that you'll like and subscribe to our channel. On this episode, we take a ferry to Friday Harbor, San Juan Island, and ride our electric bikes around and spend the day touring the island.
I'm exhausted. I'm over bike riding. Done. We're selling the e-bikes. Okay, so we're coming down to, there's one of the public lots, darn it. Coming down into Anacortes Ferry, and today we're going to take a ferry and ride out to Friday Harbor and ride our electric bikes out there. So,
okay, we're in line to get onto the ferry. We purchased the tickets online, so they just scanned I took a screenshot and I scanned the photos. We're going to get on the ferry, going out to Friday Harbor today. So follow along.
Here's your pro tip. In the summer months, these ferries get packed, and it's expensive to take a car across. It's about an hour and a half from Anacortes to Friday Harbor. You can go to Lopez Island and make a stop there. But go online, book in advance, and then it's easy breezy. You simply show them the app, show them your ticket, and you get on the boat. We opted to take our bikes because navigating it is so much easier.
Stop filming a little bit because our bikes are tied up there. And my concern is we're on a boat, so I double locked everything, double tied everything, probably a little overkill. But I didn't want to come down and have to pay for a paint job. So we're tied up, and we're on the ferry.
We're not tied up yet.
Yeah, we're not tied up. And we're on the ferry. And here's what's cool. We're going to be the first people off when we dock. So we're going to take you upstairs to the deck and go that way. Doing stairs. So we have our Sena helmets and carrying them. They're normal bike helmets. We just leave them down there, but they're expensive. So here we are. We're on the ferry.
The Washington State ferry system covers multiple islands in the Puget Sound, and it really is dependable, affordable, and it's a great way to get out and see the San Juan Islands. The boat ride is very comfortable. There's a couple different decks, at least on this ferry, and you can go up and sit. There's food, coffee, beverages, but you can also go all the way down, and I came down to check on the bikes mainly, and came down and just got that front end view, and you can feel the wind just coming through there. So on a cold day, you really don't want to be there. If you haven't been to the San Juan Islands, it is a must go. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, it's worth taking the time to do a little excursion into the San Juan Islands. You can see wildlife along the way, porpoises, sometimes orcas are spotted from the ferries themselves. Not often, but it does happen. Lots of wildlife, lots of things to see, and it's just a great time. You can take a car or you can take a bike to most islands. Our first stop's going to be Lopez Island, and I'm going to go down and show you the passengers getting off at Lopez. I should also mention a lot of people walk on to the ferries. You got to watch what islands you get off on. Not all of them have a taxi system. Uber's not on any of them that I know of. Friday Harbor does have a trolley and a taxi, but I don't know how dependable the taxi is. We tried to call them on another trip and waited for over an hour. So have maybe some form of transportation prearranged. Friday Harbor's easy though, because once you get there, you can walk to a lot of really cool places. Something else that you'd want to do in advance is look to see what tours are going on. Sometimes there are whale watching tours. The boats typically go out all year round for orcas, but depending on the migration. But book that well in advance. These tours are pretty fantastic. Before you know it, the ferry's going to be at the port here in Friday Harbor, and when they pull up, there is just lots of things to do right there at the pier. Lots of shops, really cool restaurants, and we're going to go to one of them later on in the day. Friday Harbor itself, you could spend the day just hanging out, so walk onto the ferry, get out, explore the town. When you're ready to go back, get back on the ferry, go back to your car.
Friday Harbor. We got our helmets so we can talk. And getting off the boardwalk. Ferry's behind us. And we're gonna bike down the front street here. Well, we're gonna give this a go. We're gonna see if that GoPro right there, mounted on the electric bike, how that'll work.
So we jumped on the e-bikes and we headed out. Once you get out of Friday Harbor, the roads really just are country roads. There's no bike lanes, but the cars were very courteous. Nobody was crowding us. We never felt unsafe. But we did about an 8-mile bike ride, and our goal was to end up at the National Historic San Juan Island American Camp. And this is where the U.S. soldiers were. On the other side of the island, the British soldiers were at. Really interesting history as we toured around the old campsite. And they really do have a very nice visitor center. However, the day we were here, it was closed. But if you come to San Juan, this is a good stop.
So what did you think of our trip today?
Pretty cool. Glad we came.
Can you hear it in the stereo?
Yeah.
We got our headsets on. Hello, Houston. Hello, we have a problem. Yeah, so okay.
What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty cool. It was worth the bike ride out here. So we're gonna bike ride back. Those sexy things right there. And leave the San Juan Island National Historic Park. Really cool. They're doing a great job. Okay, we'll see you on the road.
Well, it's disappointing to find out that most of our footage of the historical park didn't turn out. But we jumped back on our bikes and we headed back into town. And you know, this is just a ride for people like us that would not have gone out there on a normal bike, but we would do it on an e-bike.
This is Terry after a 6-mile bike ride this way. 10 miles the other way because we took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Now she's hitting on other dudes. This is ridiculous. Oh, hey. I would punch him right in the snot locker, but he looks pretty tough.
You can bring your bikes, or you can rent them from e-bike rentals. How about that? And it's 1 block off the ferries.
This is the trolley I was talking about. This trolley will take you from Friday Harbor to Roach Harbor, which is on the other side of the island. So if you do come in a car, we're going to roll right through the staging area for cars. And they'll tell you what lane to get in depending on your size and depending on what island you're going to. But this is where you would line up to get back onto the ferry. You can line up and park, and a lot of times you'll have time to go grab a bite to eat, an ice cream cone, whatever you want to do.
So I'm pretty sure bikes are free, but you just left side of the dock, you can go in the terminal right there and ask her.
But when you come over from Anacortes, to go back to Anacortes, you don't need another pass, right?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
You can always ask the lady in the terminal though, because
Okay.
I don't.
Oh,
So the correct answer is you buy one ticket and it gets you to the island and back to Anacortes. It's $18.85 for a bike pass. So passenger pass would be less. To bring on a bike, it's a little bit more. To bring on a car, it's a little bit more. And if you had a big car, it's a little bit more. So $18.85 for a bike pass. That's both ways. This is one of my favorite restaurants to eat at when you're in Friday Harbor. Main reason is because it's got a view of the port and of the ferries when they come in, and the parking lots right there.
So we made it up to the rooftop bar. I wish the views were better though. The views are not so good up here. Kind of sucks. We're gonna enjoy. I know they have good fish and chips. I've had them before, but I may try something else on the menu.
We should do seafood.
But yeah, you know, when you're in a place like this, you always want to do seafood. And maybe an adult beverage. So I figure we went at least 14 miles on our bike ride today, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess we can, eat a little bit, right? Look how they brought our oysters out. Only one in the shell. That's crazy. They must have forgot to put oysters in our oysters.
So you can see that there is whale tours, and there's also float plane tours. So they'll take you out on a float plane and you can look them all down there, right down the port. But again, do it before you get there. These type of things fill up really fast, especially during the summer months. Well, eventually it was our time to go, and here come our ferry coming in hot around the bend. If you look real close, there's a paddle boarder out there in between that ferry and the dock there. And I bet you he's paddling to beat the band there to get out of the way. The neat thing about this whole area is, yeah, you're going the same way back home as you came, but you're going to see new and different stuff. And what we didn't see on our way out there is Mount Baker made an appearance. It doesn't always show up. It's the Pacific Northwest. There's lots of clouds. But on this day, the right amount of clouds, the right amount of sun, and Mount Baker put on a display for us.
All right, back at the car. What did you think about that?
I'm exhausted. I'm over bike riding. I'm done. We're selling the e-bikes.
Done for the day. That's it.
The problem with electric bikes is they make you do things like go on 18, 16, I don't know how many miles we went, but mile bike rides and then a mile hike and all that stuff sucks. We had a blast though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, truthfully, without the e-bikes, that's just something we probably wouldn't have done.
No, we would have taken the ferry over and found a bar to sit in and watch the ships come in.
Yeah, we'd have rented a car. I mean, they've got these little cute little buggies over there you can rent. And, you know, we'd have done, or we'd have drove our truck and drove around. Because you can clearly, I mean, we were on a car ferry, so clearly you can rent cars, or, I mean, drive your car over there. But what the electric bikes do for people in their middle ages that aren't training for the Olympics is get out and ride 16, 15, 18 miles, which I know to a lot of people they're going, oh, come on.
It was not all straight road.
Yeah,
it was up and down, and it was, I'm tired.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is I still got a really good workout. When we were done, when we got to our destination, my legs were rubber. So,
well, when you go that far too, you don't want to use your assist because you're afraid you might not get past.
What do you got to say?
There's some really pretty country roads and that we rode on. And just like you say, we might not have gone that far out otherwise. Riding in town was fun too. Just all kinds of shops and places to eat and lots of people outside enjoying the nice weather. It was a fun day.
Yeah, sorry about my bike tirade, but it was a really fun day.
Yeah.
So I guess this is going to be our true sign-off. So we'll see you
on our next trekking adventure.